Welcome to iLecture Online. So what does the covariance matrix look like when we have 3 data sets instead of 2? Well, the general structure will be the same. Diagonal elements should be the variances of each of the data sets. The off-diagonal elements should be the covariances between the various data sets. Now let's see here, if we have 3 data sets, X, Y, and Z, and they're defined by those 5 numbers. Again, they don't have to be 5 numbers, but just to make it easy, just have 5 numbers. Notice when we sum them together, we get 30, 45, and 25. Divided by the number of elements, which is 5, we get the average of the 3 data sets. Of course, we're going to need the averages to calculate the variances and the covariances. Notice it says part 1 here because of the lack of board space. We'll do it in 2 parts, and so the next part will be the next video. Notice we also need to calculate the variances for each of the data sets. Variance X, variance Y, and variance Z. Again, here are the equations. It's each of the elements minus the average, quantity squared, add them all up, and divide by the number of elements in the data set. So in this case, we have the elements 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So 2 minus 6, 6 being the average, plus 4 minus 6, and again these are squared, so it's 2 minus 6 squared plus 4 minus 6 squared plus 6 minus 6 squared plus 8 minus 6 squared plus 10 minus 6 squared, all divided by 5 gives us 40 divided by 5, or 8, for the variance of the elements of the X data set. We do the same for the Y data set, and we get 18, and we do the same for the Z data set, and we get 8. So those are the 3 variances for the 3 data sets, and those then go in the diagonal of the matrix. Notice we now have a 3 by 3 matrix, and also we can write this as X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. If we do that, we can see why we get the subscripts there of the variances and the covariances. So the variances go along the diagonal here. So we end up with 8, 18, and 8. So we get 8, 18, and 8 for the variance of X, the variance of Y, and the variance of Z. Notice that the variances make up the diagonal elements in the 3 by 3 matrix like this. Now the off-diagonal elements are the covariances. Notice if we have X here, XYZ, and XYZ, here we have covariance of X versus Z, the covariance of X versus Y, the covariance of X versus Z, and here we have the covariance of Y versus X, the covariance of Y versus Z, the covariance of Z versus X, and the covariance of Z versus Y. So notice there's 6 off-diagonal elements, but we only need to calculate 3 covariances because the covariance of XY is the same as the covariance YX. The covariance XZ is the same as the covariance ZX, and the covariance YZ is the same as covariance ZY. So essentially, the covariances are finding the relationship between the various data sets. So we can find the relationship between X and Y, X and Z, and Y and Z, and that's why there's a total of 3 covariances we have to calculate. And notice that if we then reverse the order, we get another 3, but they're the same as the first 3, so we only have to do it 3 times, and those go then in the off-diagonal element. So you can see that these 2 will be the same numbers, those 2 will be the same numbers, and those 2 will be the same numbers. And we draw a line across like this, we can see that these 2 are the same, those 2 are the same, and those 2 are the same. So in the next video, we'll calculate all the covariances, and we then complete this matrix. And then again, you'll see how they relate to one another. If you look at the data sets, notice that this is increasing, this one is increasing as well, and this one is decreasing. So you would expect a positive covariance when we calculate the covariance between X and Y, but you expect a negative covariance when you calculate the covariance between X and Z and Y and Z. So that's what we could expect. So let's go look at our next video to see if the covariances do end up in that particular way. So stay tuned and we'll show you the rest of this calculation.